WWE Hall of Famer Booker T has praised CM Punk's Raw return promo this past Monday, believing that the former AEW and WWE World Champion was speaking from the heart. We have an update on Randy Orton's WWE contract status after his return from an 18-month injury hiatus. Chris Jericho has opened up and revealed how Tony Khan books AEW pay-per-views. Jeff Hardy reveals he's currently dealing with double vision issues, and Dragon Lee swaps his mask with a young fan at a WWE live event. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about CM Punk and the reaction to his return promo this past Monday night on Raw. Now, one WWE star, that being Hall of Famer Booker T, believes that CM Punk was, quote, speaking from the heart in his return promo on the November 27 edition of Monday Night Raw. Now, Punk's first promo back in WWE in almost a decade was about as anticipated moment as there really has ever been in recent pro wrestling history. While it may have not been the pipe bomb that many anticipated, it did get many talking afterwards. Why? Well, some fans questioned the legitimacy of Punk's heartfelt words that he spoke, in which he stated he was now back home in WWE, despite publicly bashing the company on numerous occasions across the last decade. However, one WWE star who believes different is current NXT commentator Booker T, who weighed in on Punk's words on his Hall of Fame podcast. The Hall of Famer had the following to say about Punk in his return promo, saying, quote, "I said his return promo in AEW wasn't the best promo I ever saw. It could have had more substance to it. And a lot of people gave me backlash because I said that, because I didn't say it was the greatest promo in the world. It was a pipe bomb. In this promo on Monday night, it was a heartfelt promo. That's what I think. At points in time, CM Punk got caught up in the moment a little bit. He almost got choked up a little bit. I know this. When you leave a company and come back, you wonder how the fans are going to treat you. You wonder if they're going to boo you out the building. You just don't know." For CM Punk, the way he left, very polarizing, and then to come back, even in Chicago, he might have had that feeling wondering, how is it going to be? For CM Punk to come out, not having that comfort zone on Monday of being in Chicago, wondering how are they going to react, then they give him the ultimate pop. That does something to you. This promo that he cut, it felt like a heartfelt promo, seemed like he was speaking from the heart. It seemed like he had some notes written, but sometimes you forget the script and you just go with the heart. For me, it wasn't the greatest promo as far as to be, with the reports and even a tease within Punk's promo suggesting that a feud with Seth Rollins could be first on the agenda for the former AEW World Champion. Regardless of that, what we do know is when we can expect to see Punk yet again on WWE television, that being Friday, December 8th, the special Tribute to the Troops edition of SmackDown from Providence, Rhode Island. What are your thoughts on CM Punk's promo? What are your thoughts on Booker T's comments on the promo? Do you think it was a heartfelt promo? Did you feel it was underwhelming? What are you expecting next from CM Punk in WWE? Is this just the version of Punk we're going to get in WWE moving forward, that being PG Punk? Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comments section below. Now, some people have been asking about Randy Orton, the contract status of the Viper. Now, Randy Orton had been out of action for a year and a half before his return to the ring at Survivor Series last weekend, but that may cause him to be around inside of a WWE ring, or at least under contract to WWE for much longer. As I mentioned, Orton returned to the ring at Survivor Series, and he actually publicly teased free agency for the first time in his WWE career back in 2019 before signing a new 5-year contract with WWE at a time when the company mass signed a ton of talent to long-term deals. However, one WWE higher-up said to Fightful that they, quote, wouldn't be surprised if the WWE ended up not extending his current deal. Basically, the suggestion that it would be very surprising if WWE ended up not extending the deal that he's on right now. Orton's original deal went at least until fall of 2024, which would put him at around a year remaining on his previous deal, or on his current deal under the normal circumstances. However, after missing nearly 18 months of action, WWE sources indicated there's a distinct possibility that WWE could add, quote, injury time to Orton's deal that would have him in the company until 2026. While one higher-up told Fightful that they expect this to happen, it exists as a probability, and Fightful said they haven't confirmed that it's happening as of right now. There had been some instances where injured WWE talent didn't have time added because they worked in other roles or on other projects. Fightful have been told that didn't appear to be the case with Orton, though it would need to be evaluated. So the suggestion is that most likely that 18 months will probably get added on to his current WWE contract, which will keep him around with WWE for a long time. In addition to that, he said at Survivor Series after the show went off the air that he intends to be around for 10 more years. So irrespective of when his contract expires, even if it's in the fall of 2026, he's going to stick around most likely, or he hopes anyway, until 2033. Now, Orton has also reacted and responded to what he did this past Friday night on SmackDown. That wasn't just signing with SmackDown, but also hitting an RKO on its general manager. Now, after officially becoming Nick Aldis' newest signee on the December 1st edition of SmackDown, Randy Orton celebrated the only way he knows how, by hitting the new general manager with an RKO out of nowhere. Orton's reaction seems somewhat remorseful after doing so, however. We have seen stars suspended for less under Aldis' reign on the blue brand thus far. Thankfully for Orton, though, rather than seek punishment, Aldis would take it in his stride, poking fun at the situation by posting to Twitter saying, quote, "It really is out of nowhere." In response to Aldis' tweet, Orton would simply post an emoji of a snake, which can be seen on the screen right now, clearly reminding Aldis never to let his guard down when he's around his newest star. One of the big selling points Aldis offered Orton on SmackDown was a shot of revenge against the Bloodline, who were responsible in storyline for taking the Viper out of action for 18 months. While nothing has been confirmed as of right now, it does seem as if WWE may be positioning Orton to feud with the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns when he returns to television on December 15. Reigns' next title defense is reportedly planned for the 2024 Royal Rumble PLE event on January 27, with Orton being considered by WWE to challenge in what is likely to be the Tribal Chief's final defense of his title prior to WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Now, Chris Jericho has provided some interesting insight as to how the AEW president and CEO Tony Khan books his pay-per-views. Jericho was in action at the most recent AEW pay-per-view, Full Gear, teaming with Kenny Omega to defeat the Young Bucks. Many fans questioned the placement of this important bout, which took place immediately after the brutal but highly praised Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland Texas Death Match. Speaking on Talk is Jericho, Jericho explained that Tony Khan divides AEW events into 3 parts and usually chooses to finish part 3 of the show with the 3 most exciting or significant matches. This means that he won't book a buffer match following an extreme stipulation bout if the stipulation match would be one of these final 3 matches. Jericho explained, quote, "Anytime you have a little bit of a street fight type of thing, it's like, should you put a buffer match after it? And I was like, Tony likes to structure his cards with part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 3 is always match 7, 8, 9, let's say. I don't have a problem going on after that match. Somebody has to. You could have put a nonsensical nothing match, but to me, this is the way the card is structured. You want 3 exciting matches, and I thought if anybody could follow the street fight, we could. We did. It took a bit to get the crowd into it, but I was very happy with how we did it." Now, AEW's next pay-per-view event will take place on December 30, when World's End will emanate from the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island in New York. What are your thoughts on Jericho's comments about how Tony Khan structures his pay-per-view cards? Is that the right way to do it? Do you think there's a problem in that? Did you notice that in the Golden Jets versus Young Bucks match, that the crowd was particularly flat? And is that a problem moving forward? And how would you just change AEW pay-per-views now, seemingly that we're going to be getting more of them in the next calendar year? Jeff Hardy has provided a bit of an injury update as to some problems he's having with his vision. Now, ahead of Jeff Hardy's return to television in April, he had the eye surgery during his wrestling hiatus. Speaking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Jeff stated that he's still dealing with some issues with that eye. Noting that he has some double vision, Jeff explained, quote, "My biggest challenge has been the eye surgery I had back in March, the double vision. So that's still my biggest fear. I can see where I need to see. The double vision is still there. For example, leaning back in bed and trying to watch TV, even looking at the camera now, it's doubling up on me a little bit. But to the left, it's where it's all started. It's pretty much gone, so I can see where I need to in the wrestling ring. I just need to do more matches like tonight, where I'm actually excited to go out there and perform." Now, Jeff last wrestled on this past week's edition of AEW Dynamite. On the show, Jeff teamed up with Matt Hardy and Brother Zay, that being Isaiah Cassidy, to face off against Action Andretti, Dante Martin, and Darius Martin in a losing effort. Recently, Matt Hardy said there were creative frustrations into how the Hardys were booked in All Elite Wrestling. Finally, Dragon Lee is getting a lot of praise on social media. He's on the road to superstardom, seemingly in WWE, and his connection with fans is such that he already unmasked to make a very special moment. Dragon Lee's switch to the main roster in WWE from NXT came relatively quickly, just a few short months after his debut on the developmental brand. Now Lee's home is SmackDown, and he has quickly become intertwined in the ongoing storyline between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Mysterio is out of action until 2024 after undergoing knee surgery, while it looked like the LWO member Carlito would step up to take on Escobar, who in storyline took out Mysterio at Survivor Series. Escobar took out Carlito of the equation before that could happen. That led to Dragon Lee stepping up to face Escobar at Survivor Series, but in the end, it was Santos Escobar who picked up the victory. But despite this loss, Lee is clearly making a connection with fans in the crowd, which you can see right here. A video was shared on social media that showed the star unmasking to swap masks with a young fan at ringside who was wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. As it comes to this storyline, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Mysterio, if indeed when he's going to return. But the video came from a WWE live event in Allentown, Pennsylvania, where Lee again suffered a defeat at the hands of Santos Escobar, but clearly it didn't prevent Lee from having the popularity with the fans at ringside. As you can see right here, after the bout, he took the mask off, swapped it, and gave his mask to the young fan at ringside. What are your thoughts on Dragon Lee as a performer? What are your thoughts on his connection or his attempt at connecting with the young fans in the audience? Do you think he could be an heir apparent to Rey Mysterio in WWE? Is that possible? Or does WWE need to realize that nobody can replace Rey Mysterio moving forward? But anyway, guys, there you go. That's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.